Okay, this video is going to be a bit different to my others because I'm actually basing it off having followed a video tutorial by someone else, which is the architecture topics video entitled Blender Tutorial Visualization, and it's the building of this. And I'll put a link to this tutorial in my page, and I'd actually advise you having a go at it this way, so you'll see sort of where I'm coming from. And this was sort of my result of that video. Now, the reason I decided to do this is I wanted to show how you can come about something multiple ways. Having done that tutorial, I then actually had a bash at it about 5 times. Each time doing something, trying something different, coming at it something a different way. Just sort of informed me of workflow for you personally. I'm not saying my way is better than the other way. I'm just saying it's an alternate way, and this way is probably just one of 4 or 5 variations I tried. So without further ado, let's get into it. Make sure you've got Node Wrangler active, because you should always have Node Wrangler active. I also activated the Blender kit as the guy in the video outlined, which I didn't know existed until I followed that video, so you know, something learned. So that's handy just for doing your materials later on. I shall activate my shortcuts so you can see what I'm up to. Put that there, move it up a bit, there we go. All fine. Right, I'm going to be pretty much blasting through this. So apologies for real beginners if I seem to be going a bit quicker than normal. So first thing I do is start with a plane, and then I just set my dimensions for what I have sort of worked out as my preference. Set my scale, because you always set your scale. I want to show in this video as well that sometimes when you do something has more impact on your workflow than what you do. Okay, I'm just going to delete this edge, and this is a case in point. Delete the edge, that gets rid of the face and just leaves me with the points to work on. Switch to point mode. Building the floor plan, I'm just going to be extruding the point in various directions. And so I've got my little floor plan here, so I know I'm going in by 3.5, along by 6.2, in by 2.5. So I'll go EX 3.5 minus, and I've already forgot, 6.2, 2.5, EY 6.2 minus, EX 2.5 minus, EY 8.2 minus, EX 9 minus. Right. So now I extrude this point, and I extrude rather than move because I still want that point lined up with the, and I know it moves, so EY, I want that one to line up with that. Then I go EY, I want that to line up with that, and then just join them. And there's my bottom floor plan. I'm going to duplicate that, GZ 3.2. This will become my top floor plan. Delete that vertex. EX, snap to there. If you follow any of my other tutorials, you know I always have my vertex snapping on rather than grid. Select them two, F for face. And this we want to overlap, so I'm going to select that. Make sure I select the upper one, not the lower one. GX 1.5 minus, so that overlaps. And there we go, there's our floor plans. Now, first thing I'm going to do, duplicate them and separate them into a new object. And I'm just going to quickly name these now as building and floor ceiling. And this is a case of where I say that when you do something can have an impact on the workflow. So like here, I'm going to select everything and choose limited dissolve to get rid of the unwanted things. Then I'm going to hit F so that they are both now faces. Go into face mode and I'm going to go inset, and I'm just going to make that 0.05. It doesn't have to be very big. Going to invert the faces and delete the faces. That now gives me my floor plans. So I can then select those, Shift D, and I'm going to move them up GZ 2.8. They're now my ceilings. So let's have a quick look at the face orientation to see. So the ceilings are good, so I can hide the ceilings. I need to flip the floors. So Alt N, flip. Right. So I've got my floors and ceilings pointing the right way now. Might as well throw in some materials. Floor. New material. Ceiling. Select them. Assign. Invert. Assign. And I'll give the floor a viewport display of a different colour just so I know it's the floor. And there we go. I'll get rid of the face orientation for now. So there's our floors and ceilings, all good. Back to the building, hide the floor and the ceiling. Go in, select everything. And I'm just going to go EZ.2, EZ 2.8. There's our floors. Select that edge, all the way around to there. Duplicate it. GZ.2, EZ3. I'll actually put the loop cuts in there later. Select them. F. Might as well give it a roof. F. And that's pretty much the basic floor plan done. Right. Now, another thing about when you do something having an impact on how easy or hard it would be. First of all, let's check the face orientation here. As per Jerry Perkins and a few others, I have my face orientation, so you can pretty much see through the blue rather than it being blue and red. It just makes the inverted faces stand out more, I think, when you get sort of used to seeing this as your mesh. So anyhow, I was saying about things being harder depending on when you do them, or easier, and this is going to be a case in point. You could add the balconies and the floor now, and if I show you, if I EX and I take those and EX, and we'll stick it over there for now, merge the points so it's all one, and then if I start beveling that, you can see it has an impact on the floor as well, which is not ideal. And if you'd have added all the balconies, it would add more geometry and make it a bit messy. So I want to add some pillars wherever there's a corner. So I'm just alt clicking and alt shift clicking to select all my pillars, and all my pillars will be wherever there's a corner, like this. Right. Then I'm going to Control B, one segment, and I just go in here, set my width to 0.2, set my profile to 1, and that gives me a nice solid corner wherever I have got it. Right, now I can actually get rid of those two. Control X. You can see now it's very tidy corner things. Now we can start adding the additional geometry for the balconies. That's the word I was looking for, balcony. First things first, I want a balcony to extrude to here. So, and I know I want the balcony to come out 1.5 meters, so having added a loop cut, I will GX 1.5. Then I'll just do that, GX and snap. Do the same there, GX and snap. Now I'm going to join these two, F, just so I can stick a loop cut all the way up the middle of there. Right, okay, so now I select that edge, control click that edge, and I'll just come EX, snap to there, EX, snap to there. And I'll do the same here, select. Actually what I'll do here is different. I'm going to select that edge there, and I'm going to EY. And I'm going to select the point is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the point here. Because if I was thinking you do an edge, then you're going to start having to add points here. But if I just do a point, and I EX right to the end there, then what I can do is I can go into edge mode, click, and then control click to there, and just press F. Oh, why is that? No, my mistake. I need to select a point there as well. And EX. Forgot about that. Now try it. Select that. Control click, face. That's better. Right. Now I can just click, control click, face. And there's that one. I'm going to do something similar here. So select that point, EX, snap it to the outer edge, select that one, EX, snap it to that point. So now I've got my selector, that edge, control click round to there and press face, select that edge, control click round to there and press face. So there's there. So now we want these bits to come out, and I'm actually just going to select all of them and then just EX 1.5 minus, because I know I want it that far out. Right, they're all out. Now what I want is part of this to come out further than the other part, and I want it 2/3, and because I wanted 2/3, the easy way, or the 2/3-ish, it's 3/4 really, isn't it? Select that and then control X, then control R, dink, GX and snap it to there. Oh, come on. Alright, and then we've got EY 1.5 minus. Then, oh, we missed that bit, so we'll just join those up, face. Then select that, and miss that one as well. That was clumsy of me, face. Select, control click, shift, control click, EY 1.5 minus, and I've missed that one. Not doing well here. And an easy way to see if I've missed anything else actually is to throw on face orientation, because it'll show through to wherever there's a gap. It's a handy little thing to do, so if you're not sure. So, yep, that's good. Okay, so now we want the edges. So, click, control click, shift click, control click, face. That's one. I'm going to try just alt click and make that a face. select those two, face. Alt click, face. Alt click, face. Face. Select that edge, face. So there we go. Oh, that's not right. Oh yes, it is. Select those two, face. There we go. Just Control X, get rid of that. And yeah, so that's not a face. So again, actually, let's put the face orientation on. And it tells me I've got a gap there, so I've got to fill that. So I've got to fill these as well. I'm not filling them because that's where the balcony will come out to. So, all good. Quick merge by distance. Oh, here's a bug. Hehe. If you've got all of your settings active there, displaying all your statistics, it pushes the information onto what's welded off the page. I don't know if you saw that. Interesting. Okay, faces. So edges. Just gonna EX and snap to there. So again, I'm gonna do the same here. One, select that edge. EX. Go all the way out to there. Select that one. EX all the way out to here. Select, Control click, face. Select, Control click, face. Select, Control click, EY, snap to there. So that makes sure that the upper one. So select them. EY. Bump. There we go. Right, so Alt click, Alt Shift click, face. Face. Don't know why it's put a seam on there, but never mind. Get rid of the seam. Alt click, face. Alt click, face. So there we go. That's all of the building done in general form. So I'm going to select that. Do Control Alt Shift F to select link faces. And I'm going to add some materials in. Call this building. Add that. Call that wood. Assign them as wood. Give it a different colour because wood. Here we go. So we know that's wood, and I'll turn off that face orientation again now. There we are. Okay, so now we're going to start adding some loop cuts ready for the windows. Control R, right down, GZ.2, GZ.2, Control R, right up, GZ.2 minus. Do the same here. Control R, all the way up, GZ.2 minus, GZ.2 minus. There we are. So that's all of them taken care of. Right, let's add some loop cuts in for the windows up there. And we'll add a cut in the middle. And I'm actually going to take this one up and take that one up, just eyeballing it just for a different look on the top floor, really. Right, now what we want to do now is start adding in the actual windows. So I'm going to do Control R, down, GZ.75 because I decided I want my lower panels to be GZ 0.75. I just wanted them there, make them all the same. Okie doke. So you can see how quickly we're blatting along here. Now I'm not going to add the windows just yet, because we're going to get into another territory of how you, sort of how you do things and make things a lot easier. What I will do is I will create the loop cuts for the windows, but the windows come later, and I'm going to use script to build them. Well, I'm going to use Blender, which is going to help me use script. That doesn't sound very clear, does it? It will be clearer, I promise. So 3 there, just trying to make sure everything's all fine. I'm actually going to just GX and snap that to there, so that's the same. And I'm going to GX 0.2 minus, so they line up. Just an aesthetic choice on my point. I'm going to Control R, again do the same, GX, snap to there, Control R, GX 0.2, there we are. I'm just trying to make it a relatively uniform type thing, but with a bit of interest. The number of cuts is entirely a personal preference. Right, so now I want glass, so I'm going to add glass. I'm actually going to move that up. Well, it doesn't matter really, slot 2, 0, 1, 2, or doesn't matter where that is. I've historically only had the 2 and done the wood later, but what we'll do is we'll make the glass a different colour, make it blue, but we're not assigning anything to it yet. Right, now before we do anything else, save. I'm going to use power save because I've got power save, but just save it somewhere. Don't panic, I'm just going to make this window bigger because this is the most important window apart from here. So I'm going to go here and create a new data block, and I'm going to just simply type in the line import BPY. Just needs that. Just accept that it needs it. That's all you need to know. Right. Face mode. Watch what happens here, by the way. Right. Because we're not really interested in the console, it's this bit we're interested in. Select that, select that, select that, select that. Before we do that, actually, I want a column there. So I'm just going to do that. GY.2. You see what's going on here? Do Control R. GX.2 minus. You can see. Right. So now 3. Select these faces here, and we're going to do our insets. Right. Make sure you've got this active as well. So select these. Inset. Press I again so that you've got that. Click. Then I hold Control and push it in. And that gives us our little. Got them selected. Go over here. Click glass. Right. Then click assign. You see what's all happening here? Inset, insect, select material, assign. Select that line. Shift select that line, that line, and that line. Right mouse button. Copy. Go into here. Paste. We've done this. Boom, 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 boom. see where I'm coming from? Select them two. Every single window will be indented the same amount. And a uniform pattern. So Shift. So I'm going to click that. Control Shift click that. Shift click that. Control Shift click that. Shift click that. Control Shift click that. Run the script. Bada bing. Select those two. Run the script. Click. Control Shift click. Shift click. Control Shift click. Run the script. Run the script. And so that's all you're doing. Control Shift click. Shift click. 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 Run the script. There's all it means. You just know that those all done and dusted, all assigned with the right material. How easy was that? So, right, now let's just have a quick check of the floor and ceilings and make sure they are where they need to be. I'm going to go into wireframe, go into edit mode, just select everything. Ortho view, make sure, and it does look like they are where they need to be. Now all we need now is actually an upper floor. So to do that, I'm going to select the building here. I'm going to select edges. I'm going to select that edge. I'm going to select that edge. Shift. And can't control click up to there, because that's where I want my edges to be. And just duplicate them. P, selection. We'll hide building, take building 1. F1, select that. GX, snap it to there. Right, select everything, do a limited dissolve. Just check our floor or our face orientation. It's the wrong way around. Alt N, flip it. This is our top floor, so I'm going to select that, select them and join them. Now, I know I'm going to build some stairs, so what I'm going to do, go into wireframe mode, select those edges, GX, make sure they all line up. Actually, apart from the bottom one. The bottom one needs to be there, so GX. Bottom one needs to be full length. And then I think I'll just GX 0.5 minus. Oh, missed one. Right. Right. Now the reason for that is we're going to have a stairwell there. And so I want space for the stairwell. So again, this, I'm going to go into local mode. This for top face here, we want to inset it by 0.05. Hide. Select those and delete the faces. I'll hide everything. Right, that is going to be a floor, so assign it. Now, because we've pulled it in from the other, let's just clean material slots. There we go. Named it, I've got the spelling wrong. Okay, out of local mode. So that's all of that done. Okay. Now let's just add in the railing. going to do this quickly as well. I'm just going to stick the cursor there and add in a cube. GZ1. Did that in edit mode because it's a quick way of putting your origin at the base. And scale shift Z 0.1. Scale shift Z 0.5. Yeah, I like that. Do we like that? Scale more. Now we like that, and just apply the scale. GY. There we go. GX. Just going to eyeball that. Going to move this into its own collection. Posts. And I'm just going to use an array. It's the easiest way. Add an array. I'm going to use a constant offset. In this case it's a y-axis, so there we go, minus 0.5. Get a nice even length, why not? Oh, minus 0.5. Oh, and I wanted to actually change them. Right. So that's one. So duplicate it, RZ minus 90. GY, take that down. GY, put it to about there. Then what I'm going to do is just tweak that ever so slightly, just to make it a more even match right to the end. Okay, just drop off the number of points there. Yeah, we'll lose one more, so that's 20. So again, Shift D, RZ minus 90, we're just going wrong. GX, pull that along to about there. That's just going to be 3, like that. And do the same here, just tweak that offset ever so slightly, so you get a more even line up. There we go. Takes the guesswork out of it. Same thing, Shift D, RZ minus 90. Oh, undo that actually. Or actually don't undo it, just change that 0. There we go. GY to about there. GY maybe to about there. That's not so bad. Actually I'm going to go up with 1 there and I'm going to make it smaller. There we go. Yeah, I prefer that. Don't want people falling through the railings, do we? That would be shocking. Right, same thing, Shift D, RZ 90 minus GX. Just like that. Tiny tweak. It is only a tweak as well. Just like that, all the way to the end. I'm going to select that. Shift D, RZ 90 minus GX, and I'm going to snap to there. GY, I'm going to snap down here. Zoom in on that. GX. There we go. GY, pull it in. Change the offset to just go ever so slightly into the wall. Change the offset on that. There we go. Oh. There we go. There's all your posts. But because they're all arrays, you've really only got a couple to play with. Save that. Adding the rail the easy way. grab that top face, duplicate it, separate by selection, delete the array. Oh! Select the top face. I haven't done that. Oh! Right, separate by selection. Select the top thing and delete the array from that. That's what we wanted. Origin to geometry. Scale X. It's roughly where we want it. EZ. About the scale. Oh, these two edges. 2. Control bevel them. One edge. Because we want a nice pretty edge like that. Right. Going into wireframe now. GY, get all the way down here. Oh yeah, GY, here we go, roughly there. This isn't going to be exact, we'll worry about this later. Just going to shift N. Right, 7. Oh. Now I'm going to shear, so that's Shift Alt S, press 1. It's doing nothing, so Shift Alt S, Y, 1, minus, okie doke. Then just E, escape, GX, because it'll extrude. If I do A, it's wanted to extrude on that diagram, so we don't want that. So, shear, Y, 1, minus, no, it's not shear Y, so just shear Y, 1, minus, shear 1, minus, E return, GY, E return, GX. I say don't worry too much about that. E return, GY, roll out, GY, up to the zoom in, GY, okay, Y, 1, minus, and I'm going to do Shift R because that, so E return, GX, then minus, there we go. Select those, GY, just line them up. You know where I'm going to go with this, don't you? Alright, GX. This is just an easier way of doing it, really. GY. GX. GY. And there we go. There's our rail setup. Out of edit mode, make sure that's in posts. And there's your rail. So there's them all done. Now, stairs. Last thing is the stairs. And the stairs, you want another add-on active. Archipack. Make sure. And I'm going to go into wireframe mode. And I am going to Shift Add. Along up arrow, so I jump to the bottom and I choose stair, and I just choose that. You've got to make sure your thumbnails are installed and that. so first things first. Snap the cursor to world origin. Come on. And then select that and snap that to the cursor. Right. RZ90 minus. GX. Here we go. Yes, I know it's too big. Trust me on this. There we go. I'm going to start with this. Right, okay, now we pull up ArchViz. And the first thing we want to do is change the parts. The stir style, sorry. First, we got one stir, set user defined. Right, okay. So length is 2. Height is 1.5. In fact, let's make it 1.25. Yeah, go with 1.25, why not? So, there's our first bit. Now, we just need to start adding bits. So we add a part. Part 2, change it from straight stir to a curved landing, which in this case actually is not a curve but a right angle. Now width, we want 0.75 by the way on the stir style. There we go. Move that along on the X a bit now. There we go. And move it along on the Y. There we are. So now we want another part. The part 1, we want straight landing. And the straight landing length, we want 1.5. Then we want another part. And we want part 4 to be a curved landing. And that's pretty much where we're at. Now we duplicate these. So we add another part. That's a straight stir, that's fine, we want that. Then we add another part. And part 6 is a curved landing. No, actually I lied. I found when I was doing this it wasn't going high enough. But I think I know the answer to that. Just bear with me. Yeah, if I make that 3, yeah, that's where I was going wrong last time. Of course it was shrinking it in. So, curved landing. Want a straight landing, so we add another part. Part 7 is a straight landing. Then we add another part. Part 8 is a curved landing. Part 9 is a straight stir. In fact, let's just add another 2 because we want curved landing, straight landing, curved landing. So we've got straight stir, curved landing, straight landing, curved landing. Now we go all the way back up to the top and we make the height 6. You see where I'm going? So we know that need now a stir, so another part. That's fine. And we want 2 parts. And the very top part is a curved landing and a straight landing. And in fact we want one more part. All the way up, where's the parts? One more part. final part is a curve landing. Right. And now we can just adjust the height. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, there we go. 6.5. Let's make it 6.6 actually, because my gut instinct tells me that's going to be where it is. No, it's 6.5. So, there's our stairs. Let's go into local mode. Now, what I don't want panels. And this is why I use ArchViz. What I want is sub things. Don't want them quite so close to go. Spacing 0.2. That's better. And there it is. All done. Right. And as you can see, it's all solid mesh, even though we've created it this way. So I can then start deleting stuff off this, which is what I intend to do. So I'm going to select those faces, and I'm just going to delete the vertices. Actually, I'm going to select them and hide that. I'm going to select them, and I'm going to Control plus. Right. Now I'm going to do the same here. 3. Alt click, delete the vertices. Select that. Hide it. And again, I want these here. Control plus. Delete the vertices. Because these are... Oh, I've deleted the wrong ones. You feel it's the other side I need to delete. That's alright. This is where you make sure you've got enough undos. There we go. I selected the wrong one. These are the ones I've got to delete. These are the middle floors. So, again. Delete the seats. And you're going to select them and hide them. Select these. And select them. Control plus. Delete the vertices. Right, so there's the upper floors. The upper floor is up. So we just take that face. Yeah. And delete the vertices. I'm going to take that GY 7, and I'm going to use this. There we go. And then I'm going to select that. Delete the vertices. I'm just going to move, actually, to make that a face. GX
these. I'll GX, pull them in to about there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that GY, I'm going to move that along, and that way I can snap that to there. GX, and just push them in like that. There we go. Shift DY, Shift DY. There we go, that gives us a... I mean, this is really over the top for the simple reason you're not going to see it too much. 7, Shift Z. I'm going to take these points and I'm just going to push them in here like that. I'm going to select everything, GX, move it up to there. There we go. And that's everything. And now what we're going to do is select this building. We're going to select that glass. We're going to go down to our Blender kit, activate the icon, material, EV, glass, return. Drag and drop it. Now that's assigned that to the building, so it's not what we wanted, so I'm going to copy that material, paste it onto there. And that material I'm going to switch back to building. Turn off the icon, close that. Hopefully, bada bing, bada bong. There we go. There's your building. Now the texture and then that I shall leave. Let's change the base colour of the building to no green. How ugly is that? Wood, let's make that brown. Posts. Yeah, we'll make that metallic. Slightly darker. Drop the roughness down to about 0.3. Select those. Shift select that. Control L, material. I did not like that. Select these. I'm on you. Select. Control L, material. That's better. Make that railing. Dark. Metallic. There we go. Right, floors and ceilings, the wood. The floor again we'll make a nice dark colour. There we go. The stairs, well, you can see you can just set them. Let's clear out any unwanted material slots. So we've got the wood, so let's just make that wood. White. Stair metal. Metallic it is. Dimp. And roughness down to here. So there we go. All done. As you can see, I went about it considerably different to the other tutorial, but I hope you you could see how you can come at things a different way and how it can impact the final result. Oh, I did say I was going to do the steps, didn't I? Yeah. The easiest way I probably would do the steps, to be honest, because he did it in sections of 0.5, is I would add in a mesh. Yeah, let's pull it over here. And let's scale Y to Control R. Select everything and subdivide it. Actually, no. Right. I'm gonna Y90. So these are going to be the profile of the steps. So there are steps. You set your profile accordingly. So click, control click, shift click, control click, shift click, control click, shift click, shift click, control click, shift click, control click, shift click, control click. Shift click, control click, delete the faces. 2, select that. Control click there. No, wrong way. So click, 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 click. Just shift click in here. EX. And that's just a quick way of doing the steps. That's the way I personally would have tackled it. Because they're just a lot quicker to play with. And if it's too high and you want the bottom one to be the lowest, then it's easy, you just select that. Like that. And then just C, grab the remainder of them, G, Z, one more. Just like that, GZ, and that's another, you can adjust it then accordingly. So that's just a fast way of doing stairs. It was the building that was the key thing I wanted to show you, and as you can see, it's all very tidy. To do the ground you would just do the similar method of doing the balconies. You might even want to sort of separate it into its own thing, just select the edges. So say for example, select that, go into edge mode, select that, and just control click all the way around to there. Shift click that, control click to there, duplicate it, P, selection. I'm going to hide the building, and I'll hide the floor and ceilings. The stairs, we need to move them to the work zone. Hide that. Hide the posts. So this, what I do, oh, I forgot edit mode. Don't, there we go. We're going to edit mode first, then point. Select that. Select everything, actually do a limited dissolve. Right. shift select that, EX, scale XO, EX, scale XO, fill them, fill them, fill them. There's your thing. So I just take those two edges, EY 3 minus, select them two, face, EY 3, select them two, face. There's your ground. That's a quick way of doing that. Right, found this useful. As I say, I in no way intend to sort of override this tutorial. I think it's a very, very good tutorial, and I think it's highly informative. I just wanted to show you how you can go about the same thing a different way. And as I say, there's multiple ways of tackling the same thing. For example, you know, I could say take this edged line and I could extrude in the Z, separate that by selection, and you could do it all doing that. So you could extrude the wall rather than extrude the vertices. I just found with the vertices it was easier for me, but it's certainly when it came to, so like if I then shift D that GZ and I want to change this now, then if I can control X that and GX that and select them and GX 1 minus, you can sort of see where I'm going. So there's multiple ways, but what I certainly wouldn't do is I would put these in and then start extruding multiple edges, because it's again giving you more work. It's a lot faster to add those edges once you've done all your extruding. So I say that's another way of doing it. You can do it with primitives. You know, you could take a box, let's zoom in, and you can move that along. But again, then if you then add another floor doing it this way, then another level of complexity comes in, dealing with all the additional faces and tidying them up afterwards. So, you know, depending on what you're doing, that might work, or you may prefer another method, or building the walls. If you intend to go properly inside it, you might want real walls rather than just externals. But because this was a diorama as such, you're not really interested in internal walls. So, as I say, I hope someone finds this useful, and bye for now.